Hi guys, I'm Ed from Mart TV, and today we're looking at a long barrel pistol from Gram Power. It's the K22 Mark 23 X-Trim model, which is their latest one, brought into the UK by Shooting Supplies. And I thought we'd take a look at it. I'll talk through some of the features with you and talk about the performance and obviously do some shooting with it. Right, so what do you get when you buy one of these? Well, it comes firstly in a plastic hard case, which is always nice. You obviously get the pistol itself, and you get two 10-round polymer magazines, four mounting brackets, which we'll talk about a bit later, some instructions, a brush, which funny enough is too short for the UK spec barrel, but you can't win at everything. And you also get some low profile safety levers, which again we'll talk about a bit later. In exciting news though, I did find out that Shooting Supplies, they're actually having some designs drawn up for the magazines to increase their capacity from 10 to 20 rounds. And I'm sure a lot of you out there, like me, the only bad thing about 22 semi-autos is loading the magazines. It takes far too long compared to emptying them. So increasing their capacity is a really good move. Now, for those that don't know, Gram Power, they're based in Slovakia, and they build a range of pistols, including centerfire ones. And their Excalibur model, which is a centerfire pistol, that is the big brother to this little pistol that's chambered in 22LR. But importantly, Gram Power, they've literally used all the same components and build quality that you find in their the big brother, and used it for this model. And this is good news because a lot of manufacturers, as soon as they start working with 22 rimfire pistols and sometimes even rifles, they start using sort of cast parts or zinc bits, and it's a real shame because it cheapens the product. But Gram Power have refreshingly not done that. It's all built properly, so that is really good. Let's take a look at the features of this pistol. Like many long barrel pistols, it's got a shroud up the front, fake moderator as such for aesthetic reasons. Aluminium tube essentially, and this is mounted using the barrel's threaded muzzle. There's a knurled cap up here. Underneath, importantly, is a solid, steel barrel, not a steel liner within a tube or anything like that. It's a proper barrel, and that features 6 grooves to save a bit of weight up there. Measures obviously 12 inches in length, and is a nice piece of engineering. Now, the slide is where we start seeing differences from the last model, because this is the latest and updated model. The older one used to have vertical slots for a skeletonized top slide as such. And what they've done is they've angled these and made them slightly larger as well, giving it a sort of more modern look. They've also done away with the skeletonized slots that used to be on the rear of the slide here, and they've just got your standard, quite large though, sort of serrated grooves for grip. And all in all, it looks really smart and definitely makes the pistol look sort of more modern and sleek. Now, straight away, you will see that we've got a red dot mounted on here, and that is because one of the updates is it is now optics ready. And that is what the 4 mounting plates that I talked about earlier are for. You just select the one you want, you remove the rear sight, which is a nice windage and elevation adjustable rear sight with fibre optic elements in it. You whip that off, select your mounting plate, and there's a rectangular cutout on here. Mount the plate, mount the optic, and you're good to go. Importantly, Grand Power did a lot of reliability testing with this pistol with sights fitted, because obviously it adds weight to the top slide, and obviously because the top slide is needs the energy of the 2.2 round to cycle it, move it backwards and forwards, you've got to be careful about adding too much weight on there. So it operates well with all but the very biggest red dots. I would class this Holosun as relatively big, and I had no problems at all. Obviously, just at the front as well, you have a front sight blade which has a red day glow element in it, which obviously works in conjunction with the rear sight that I mentioned. Also, to change the looks, they've also adjusted the hammer design, and it's sort of more angular now rather than your sort of traditional rounded version. So again, that sort of ties in and makes it more modern. So moving on to the frame, which is polymer, as you can see. They have given you a pick rail underneath with one slot, so you can add more likely you can add sort of a tack light on there, if you will. Not necessarily in the UK really, but it is a way of adjusting the balance of the pistol if you want to, because it can help mitigate some muzzle lift. But again, it's 2.2 rimfire, but experimentation, it's an option, that's nice. You've got a sort of vertical front to the trigger guard, which has some grip on there as well. The same grip is on the front face of the pistol grip there. It's also pleasing to know that the back straps are actually interchangeable. Now, you don't get any with the pistol, but shooting suppliers are trying to get hold of some. And I think that's a real benefit as well, because we've all got different sized hands. And I know I would have liked some slightly bigger ones, feeling my hand was slightly crowding the grip. But it wasn't an issue, but it would be nice. It's one of those things that it would be nice to play with some different sizes and see how I get on. All the controls are ambidextrous on this pistol. So you've got safety lever here, slide release here. It's exactly the same on the other side. And the only thing that's different from one side to the other is you have an enlarged mag release button on this side of the pistol, closest to me for right-handers, and then it's very slightly smaller, but that's it. And as you can see, it's sort of quite ergonomically shaped, which I found very nice for the support hand to get a good grip. Now, if you don't like these enlarged safety levers, as I said earlier, you do get some low profile ones, and you can actually swap it so you can have a low profile one on one side and a high profile on the other if you want, which is nice. In use, I found that when you're holding the pistol, I found that I had to put my thumb, use it sort of as a thumb shelf even on one side, and I'd had to make a conscious sort of effort to try and put it underneath if I didn't want to do that. So, but it was very comfortable when using it like that, but it's just worth mentioning. But that's one of the reasons you can swap it out for a low profile one. I also found that you had to lift the safety lever with your thumb of your firing hand in order to operate the slide release, which is something worth considering as well, depending on how you like to operate your pistols. Obviously, and then at the rear we've got the coat hanger, which is attached underneath the back strap, but refreshingly it's not just bolted on as an afterthought. Again, like some cheaper models, it's a decent affair, nicely finished at the end with some engraving on the top and bottom of this, and it balances the pistol very nicely, which is an important part of it as well. So it does actually add to the pistol as best it can. Obviously we'd all love it not to be there, but that's the law. That's also beneficial as well. So overall, they've done some really nice bits. Obviously the pistol itself can operate as double and single action, and the single action pull was quite a pleasant £3.14, which was very manageable. You've got a nice polymer blade with serrations, and importantly for me, the reset was really crisp and clear. So it meant that after firing a shot, you could quickly find that reset so that you were ready to pull the trigger again. And that was very predictable and consistent, which was nice. So overall, all the controls operated as expected, and they did a really good job. Right guys, so I thought I'll quickly show you how to disassemble it as well, because that lets you see some of the other bits. So obviously making sure the pistol's unloaded, you just simply unscrew this knurled cap at the end, remove the shroud, and here you can see the flutes. So I think I called them grooves earlier, but I meant flutes. So you can see the lovely fluted barrel that they've got there. And then you simply pull down on the disassembly catch this end and then slide that off like so, letting it go, and you take the slide off like that. And then you have access. You can see as well, you might be able to see it's quite dirty. It's had a fair few hundred rounds to this one, so that needs a bit of a clean. And I wanted to show you another feature for those nerdy among us. Grand Power actually supply you with 2 recoil springs, and a gun comes supplied with one within the other. Now, what you can actually do, I've somehow managed to twist these together, what you can actually do is select one or other, or as I've been using it, just use them both at the same time, and you can tailor so you swap these around to tailor the gun to the ammunition that you're using. Because Grand Power they're very proud of the fact that you can use all sorts of cheap and cheerful ammunition, or the more premium stuff, whatever you want. And if you can change these over, it means that the pistol has a broader scope of operating range with those ammunitions. So you've got a thicker one or a slightly lighter one. So that's, I think, really clever and really nice move from Grand Power. Right, I thought we'll take a look at, have a chat about the performance of the pistol and how I found operating it. And the first thing I want to talk about is the fact that the pistol's optics ready. I've been lucky enough to shoot quite a few pistols actually over the years from various countries and things like that. And I have to say that fitting a red dot to your pistol is a game changer. It's absolutely brilliant. And I can highly recommend at least having a go with an optics ready pistol if you can somewhere. It really does make shooting them very easy. And I also found it quite informative as well. I found because I wouldn't say 2.2's particularly snappy, so you maybe get and there's not much flinching going on either when you fire it. You can actually track the red, after your shot, you can track the red dot and the path it takes to return to your point of aim. and that can give you indications as to areas that you can improve on with your grip or stance, etc. And you can slowly build up the speed that you shoot the pistol at the target, and map where that red dot is going to get back to your point of aim. I don't know if that's just me, but I made some changes and I was able to increase the rate of fire and accuracy that I was getting out of the pistol. So I found it quite sort of educational. So yes, well done, Grand Power, great job, and fitting on making this scope optics ready. I've discussed a bit about my sort of ergonomic opinions of it, of where your thumbs and fingers fit, etc. But overall, it's a very comfy and easy to get on pistol, and I like the fact you have options with these safety levers, etc. So you can tailor it to how you want it. So they've done a good job there. With the obviously with the coat hanger, you do get some compromises as such. When I've shot pistols in the past, I like to shoot sort of a compressed high ready stance, if that's what you want to call it. Obviously to keep the pistol sort of close to your body, but the coat hanger's in the way, so I just found I just rotated the pistol slightly, and it meant that I could stand ready to before I took aim with the pistol by just having the coat hanger go around my body. So that was one way of doing it. Accuracy wise, I shot as nature intended, freehand with the pistol, so I didn't do any supported shooting or anything silly like that. Shot at sort of 10 yards, and it took me a while to sort of get back into the groove of it, but it wasn't actually very long before I was printing some quite tidy groups. So my best was a 3-round group, which was under half an inch. I think it's about 0.4 inches, which was nice. I then added to that 3-round group with the rest of the magazine, and it bumped it up to just over 1 inch, so 10-round group at 10 yards, over an inch. I thought that's pretty good. And so I would sort of sum up accuracy wise by saying a sort of typical performance is and fairly sort of easy to achieve with a red dot was about 0.8 inches, or sort of a 4 or 5 round group at 10 meters. I thought that was quite achievable, and almost certainly with more practice, maybe trialing some different ammo. I was using SK long range match just because it performs so well in rim fires, so I'm always very confident that I'll be getting good results from that. Importantly, as with any semi-auto pistol or a rifle, reliability, it just churned it out, just you know, didn't have any issues whatsoever until I started getting to the really dirty level. You know, sort of over 400 or 500 rounds of ammunition, and the slide just started to slow down a little bit, and then obviously didn't quite have enough energy to go fully rearwards to pick up the next round, but that's completely understandable once a pistol's that dirty. The other thing to mention in use is the magazines. They don't fall free from the pistol by their own, because they're only polymer. There's not much weight there. But I'm hoping that with the extensions, which I think everyone would probably get in reality to the magazines, that'll make them a bit heavier, and they'll fall free then. And also even if they don't, then you'll have more to grab hold of to remove the magazine ready for the next one. So yeah, so we've covered accuracy, ergonomics, reliability, and build quality really has already been discussed. Fit, finish, standard of build is very good. I mean, it is, you know, not a cheap gun, but you certainly are getting a properly made pistol, and I think you'll really enjoy it. Right, so that's enough from me. I'm Ed from Mart TV. If you enjoyed watching the video, then please like, subscribe and click the notification bell, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Thank you very much.